Did you know how Marcus Johnson, did you know where he was?
No, not at the time.
Did you know what type of vehicle he could have been driving?
Yes, the maintenance man was able to pull up cameras from the front of the office, and that's when I observed that he was driving a black and color Honda Accord. And then the next day, the person he was living with, Keontae, he called in, gave me the tag number to the vehicle, and when he provided the tag number for the vehicle, we was able to put that vehicle on LPRs, on tag readers, or a BOLO to be on the lookout for the vehicle.
And once you did that process, what did you do next?
Did bench warrants and affidavits for Marcus Johnson.
And was the tag, the vehicle tag, as well as Marcus Johnson's identity, were they placed on some type of database?
Well, for the bench warrants and affidavit that had Marcus Johnson's name on it, he was placed on NCIC as a wanted person. But as far as the vehicle goes, there was no out of theft report done, and Keontae gave permission for Marcus Johnson to drive the vehicle.
And at this time, did you know that Marcus Johnson was the person you saw in that ring video?
Yes.
And how did you know that?
Based on the victim yelling and screaming, Marcus, stop, and based on the relationship status where Carlos had did that affidavit for stalking or domestic violence.
And so you knew Marcus Johnson's identity from the ring camera. You knew what type of vehicle he was driving.
Yes.
And you did interview him as well.
Yes.
And the person you interviewed, did that appear to be the same person in that ring video?
Yes.
Do you see that person in the ring video as well as the person you got interviewed in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And can you please point him out for the court?
Right there with the green suit on.
Your Honor, at this time, we would ask that the record reflect that Detective Bass has identified the defendant.
This is identification only for the limited purposes of identifying the person she observed on the ring camera. Thank you.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Okay.
Still on the subpoena, except until the state's case. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you heard some testimony in regard to an affidavit having been filed out of the United States against the defendant. That is being admitted for the limited purposes of identification purposes only, and with no other relevant information in regard to whether or not the defendant is in your hands. Thank you. Yeah.
Trooper Jason Henson.
You are still here in this one. This one's your situation, you can take that for me.
Yes,
And Trooper Henson, where are you employed?
Louisiana State Police.
And what parishes do you serve, or what cities?
We cover 12 parishes in northeast Louisiana. We have the largest parish in the state that our troop covers. So we cover everything from Caldwell, Tensall, Franklin, all the way up to Arkansas, from Lincoln, which is the western area where Louisiana Tech Environment is, and we cover all that to Mississippi.
And how did you become involved with this case?
We received a BOLO of a wanted murder suspect, a pregnant stolen vehicle.
Same objection,
Sustained. And without saying, just what type of vehicle was the BOLO for? The description of the vehicle.
It was I can't remember exactly the radio traffic.
Do you know the make and model?
Honda Accord.
And what color was it?
It was black.
And once you received the BOA for that vehicle, what happened next?
We were, the law enforcement agencies in Mississippi were pursuing that vehicle in Louisiana.
And at what point did you make contact with that vehicle?
I was at milepost about 157, so some orientation on the interstate in Louisiana, we have 189 miles of I-20 in Louisiana. It starts in Texas and ends at the Mississippi River Bridge. So the Mississippi River Bridge would be milepost 189, and I was at milepost 157 when I picked the pursuit up.
And so would that be approximately 40 miles into the state of Louisiana from Mississippi?
Roughly.
And at that mile marker, that mile post, what happened next?
The vehicle was being pursued by several law enforcement vehicles. I was on the Waverly ramp when the pursuit came by, got out on the interstate and took the pursuit over as the lead vehicle so I could navigate with our troopers to try to get assets in place to get the pursuit stopped.
And then what occurred? Were you able to stop the vehicle at that point?
Our troopers deployed spikes at milepost 150, and the vehicle went around the spikes, and we coordinated with the Richland Parish Sheriff's Office to deploy spikes at the 141, and they were successful at stopping the vehicle.
And that vehicle, was that still the black Honda Accord?
It was
And how many occupants were in that vehicle?
one,
Who did you determine was the driver?
Mr. Marcus Johnson,
And do you see that individual that was driving the car in the courtroom today?
light gray suit with glasses at this table.
And Your Honor, at this time, we would ask that the record reflect that Trooper Henson has identified Marcus Johnson.
Record may so reflect, ladies and gentlemen, he's been identified for limited purpose of the person who was driving the vehicle on the day in question. You may proceed.
And Trooper Henson, at that point, what was the next part of your role in this case?
Excuse me. After the successful spike deployment, the vehicle went to the median, came back on the interstate, traveled a short distance, and came to a stop. And when the vehicle came to a stop, we conducted a felony stop, called the driver out, thrown him out, thrown theft, and took him into custody.
And that black Honda Accord, was that vehicle secured?
The Richland Parish Sheriff's Office handled the processing of the vehicle. We just handled the arrest.
And was that vehicle, to your knowledge, would that have been transported back to Mississippi?
I have to refer you to the Richland Parish Sheriff's Office on that, because they took possession at this scene.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor.
Trooper Henson, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So other than the fact that there was a warrant in the system for murder, you didn't know the circumstances of that investigation, did you?
No,
So you didn't work the underlying.
I wasn't involved with any of that.
Was, after the vehicle came to a stop, was Mr. Johnson generally compliant with your instructions?
He was compliant. We didn't have any issues after the vehicle came to a stop.
So he didn't cuss you or fight you or anything like that?
No, very compliant. We didn't have any issues after the vehicle stopped.
And did he complain of any medical issues on scene?
I believe he did.
Do you recall him complaining he had chest pains?
I believe that that's accurate.
And do you recall that he was transported in an ambulance for medical care?
He was.
You don't know any circumstances of his medical condition other than that, do you?
Just what he complained of and possibly medication related. That's about it.
And you said you did not search the vehicle or process the vehicle?
No, I did not.
No further questions, John.
You can be ready.
And Trooper Henson, Mr. Johnson, you said he was compliant.
Yes,
Was that before or after the 2 attempted spike strips in the blue lights that were behind him?
that was after.
No further questions, Your Honor.
This one, thank you.
All right, who do you have next?
Your Honor, the state calls crime scene investigator Cheryl McCord.
You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give the truth and nothing but the truth. You stated the just the right. That's yes.
Justin Custody.
Okay, proceed, Mr. Wood.
If you would, please tell your name to the jury,
Cheryl Montori.
and where do you work,
I'm retired.
and where did you work?
Jackson Police Department.
And how long were you with Jackson Police Department?
Since 2001.
And is that where your police career started?
No,
Where did it start?
it started in Biloxi in 1994.
And what capacity did you work for the Jackson Police Department? What were your different roles?
First I started on patrol, then I went to the mounted patrol, then from there to the police academy, and from there, crimes and investigations.
Okay. And then April 11th, 2024, what was your role? Which of those were you performing for Jackson Police Department?
That crimes and investigation.
Okay. And on April 11th, 2024, did you come into contact or process a vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of vehicle was that you processed?
It was a Honda Accord, black Honda Accord.
And where was that black Honda Accord received from? Where did you get it?
It was from Louisiana.
And when you get it, do you then process a vehicle?
Yes.
What does processing a vehicle mean?
What is it?
What does it mean? What all does that entail when you process a vehicle?
Okay, well, first what we do is we photograph the vehicle from, it has 8 sides. And after we photograph the vehicle, then this particular vehicle was sealed because it came from another state. And when the seals are broken, we take the photographs on the inside, and after that, we recover whatever evidence that we need for the crime that was committed.
Okay, so you take photographs and recover evidence from inside the vehicle or outside the vehicle?
Yes,
All right, and did you do that in this case?
yes.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
You know, the defense is going to object, not the particular photograph, but to the chain of custody issue on the processing of the vehicle. There's our agency in between.
Oh, thank you. So objection, no.
Then I will not object to these specific.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Investigator McCoy, I'm handing you 6 photographs. Have you seen those photographs before?
Yes,
And are you familiar with those photographs?
I am,
And how are you familiar with those photographs?
because I took them.
And have those photographs been changed in any way?
No,
And do they accurately depict the vehicle as you saw it that day?
it does.
Your Honor, at this time the state would move to have these 6 photographs submitted into evidence.
Any objection, any further objection?
No further objection beyond what the clerk.
All right, thank you. They need some more in minutes. Please, you need this one, exhibit count.
From 65 through 70.
All right, Mr. Guthrie, you may proceed.
Investigative report, I see you brought a few documents with you. Is that your report from your investigation?
Yes, it is.
And tell us about what all you put in the report.
Well, first, whatever evidence that I recovered from the vehicle itself, on the outside and inside.
Okay. And then you put all the details of where you located it, where you recovered the evidence from.
Yes,
Okay. And is that what you have in your report today?
yes.
All right. So I'm going to put on the overhead what's been marked as Exhibit 65. If you would, and if you need a laser one, I believe there may be one available for you. So what are we looking at in Exhibit 65?
Right here, this, the tag, Madison County tag, this is on the rear of the, Honda Accord.
Okay. And what color is that Honda Accord?
Black.
Okay. And is this usually one of the first photographs you take so that you can identify which vehicle you're processing?
Yes.
And then I'm going to refer you to Exhibit 66. Tell us what we're looking at there.
That is the, driver's side of the vehicle here, and what we're looking at is the door handle, and these little blue strips right here are, those are evidence tags. And what they do is, the reason why they're placed there by the, agency that found the vehicle, and they seal it because, it shows that it hasn't been tampered with.
Okay. Were these seals broken or tampered with?
No,
If they had been, would you have indicated it in your report?
yes, and you would have been able to see it also.
And I'm putting on the overhead what's been marked Exhibit 67. You would tell us what we're looking at there?
There's a passenger side of the vehicle.
Is there also some of that blue tape that you
Yes.
said before?
Yes, I'm so sorry, yes, right here, in this little area right here, it's that blue seal.
And in Exhibit 68, tell us what we're looking at there?
It's the same from the other side of the vehicle, the little blue seal right here.
In Exhibit 69,
Okay, it's the same, the seals are here in two places.
and Exhibit 70.
Again, the blue seal, that's not been tampered with.
Okay. So, in your initial investigation, did you determine that this car was properly sealed prior to you opening and removing those seals?
Yes, it was properly sealed.
Investigative authority, did you then, as you opened the vehicle, did you then recover and photograph evidence collected from the inside of the vehicle?
Yes.
have objection to certain of these photographs.
All right, Council, you all need to, I need you to mark those for identification so that the record can reflect which ones is the basis of judgment. So please, so Ms. Pickens, if you'll quickly mark those for identification purposes. I'll be leaving them on the panel.
There's 6 votes for it. You just put the 2 you want.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I know, thank you.
they have an objection to item number, photo number 74. The court overruled the objection, we will make the record later, I know you're not able to speak, but it will be admitted. And as to the other exhibits, they will be marked in the middle. That'll be 71 to 76, is that correct?
71 to 76, and you're saying that 74 is ID only?
They're all admitted.
Oh,
There is an objection
Okay.
to 74.
yes, ma'am.
She was marking it there, and then you can proceed to the next.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Investigating report, I'm handing you 6 photographs. Are you familiar with those photographs?
Yes,
And did you take those photographs?
I did.
And do those photographs accurately depict what you found and saw in that vehicle on that day?
That's correct.
Investigating report, I'm placing on the overhead what's been marked and admitted into evidence as 71. Will you tell us what we're looking at there?
Yes, this is on the inside of the dashboard of the vehicle, the black Honda Accord. Right here is ID, Mississippi driver's license.
And is that on the speedometer, or what I would refer to as the dash of the vehicle,
That's correct.
right in front of the driver?
Right, this is the dashboard here, and this is where the speedometer and the little ledge here.
All right. And then 72, can you tell us what we're looking at there?
Yes, I removed the driver's license from the dash of the speedometer area, and the driver's license here, and I took a closer photo.
And who is the individual in that driver's license?
That would be Marcus Johnson.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Investigating report, I'm handing you an item. Are you familiar with that item?
Yes,
And did you recover that item?
yes, that's the same one in the photo.
And does that have your initials and writings and seal on it?
Yes, it does.
And has that been changed or altered or taken with in any way?
No, yeah,
And what is in the item that I just handed you, is that the actual driver's license that you recovered from the vehicle?
yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state will move to introduce the ID of Marcus Johnson into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
That is so marked in the middle.
Investigating report, what's been marked as 77. Is that what that photograph was of, that we just looked at?
Yes,
Is this the actual ID that you recovered?
yes, that's the ID.
All right, and then what you looked at just a second ago, it said you recognized your handwriting. Is this that card that you were looking at?
Yes, it is,
And where is your signature at?
right here.
Okay, and it says place evidence found. What is that?
That's where, I processed the vehicle.
Okay, that's, that 512 Court Street is where you processed the vehicle.
That's correct.
It's where it was located as you went through.
Yes.
Okay. Investigator McCoy, I'm putting on the overhead what's been marked as exhibit 73. Can you tell us what we're looking at there?
There's a white piece of paper here, that was found. That was also on the driver's dashboard.
And whose name is on that piece of paper?
Marcus Johnson is right here.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
I'm handing you a plastic bag that's sealed. And inside that plastic bag, is that same white sheet of paper we're looking at on the photograph?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, we move to have that piece of paper admitted into evidence.
Maybe, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Maybe so mark in there.
And what's been marked as 78, placed on overhead, that's what we just looked at in that picture underneath it, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, I'm placing on the overhead what's been marked as 74. Can you tell us what we're looking at there?
Yes, this is the driver's side of the vehicle, the black Honda Accord. So right here, you're looking at our pieces of paper that was torn pieces of paper.
Okay. And then exhibit 75, what is that we're looking at?
Okay, it's the same torn pieces of paper. The blue with the red on it is what you call an envelope that the piece of paper, the pieces of paper was in. That was very important.
What kind of envelope was it that you had found? You said it was an envelope.
Yes.
Were you able to recognize what kind of envelope it was?
Yes, it's a pawn. Well, it's from the pawn shop.
Okay.
It's like a slip.
And beside the torn pieces of paper, what is that black rectangular thing?
What is, one more time?
Right there, what is that black rectangular item right beside the torn pieces of paper?
Yes, this is a card holder.
And I'm placing on the program what's been marked as 76. Can you tell us what that is?
Yes, this is what's in the card holder.
This is one of the cards that was in that card holder,
Yes,
and whose name is on that card?
Marcus Johnson.
That was exhibit 76.
Yes, Your Honor. May I approach the witness, Your Honor? Investigator McCoy, I'm handing you 3 photographs. Are you familiar with those?
Yes,
Have you seen those before?
I am.
And have those photographs been altered, changed, or manipulated in any way?
No,
Do they represent the item that you found that day?
that's correct.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to have these 3 photographs admitted into evidence.
Any objection? No objection. Maybe so mark in there.
Investigator McCoy, I'm placing on the overhead what's been marked as 79. What is that we're looking at?
These are the torn pieces of paper that was on the driver's side front floorboard, right here. And this is a pawn receipt.
Okay. And what are we looking at in picture 80?
Again, again, it's upon receipt, I put I actually pieced the papers together, to make out to be readable, on the item that's on this upon receipt.
Okay, and is that still what you're doing in number 81 as I place it over?
Yes.
And could you tell what pawn shop or the location of where this item was pawned?
Yes, once I pieced the paper together, I was on McDowell
Specifically, what was that address?
2685, I-55, Jackson, Mississippi, 39244.
And what was the item of interest that was pawned according to this piece of paper?
Right here is going to be a Glock, and this is the serial number.
What is that serial number?
It's K and CM 894.
And what else? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And it is a semi-automatic 40 caliber pistol.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
May,
Let's get him before him. Handing you a plastic seal envelope. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
Does that also have your signature on it?
Yes, it is.
And has that been changed or altered in any way?
No, yeah.
Is that the item that you recovered from the vehicle as you processed it?
Yes, both items.
And what is the content of that bag that I've given you?
One is the envelope, that the receipt was once again, and this is the palm receipt that I'll take together.
Your Honor, at this time of the state, we move to enter the ticket and envelope into evidence.
any objection? No objection. Maybe someone can make.
Placed on the overhead has been marked 82. And is that what you just looked at and recognized your name from?
Yes,
All right, and this blue right through the top, is that envelope that you were referring to?
yes.
All right, and then tell us underneath here, the yellow, what is that?
The yellow is the palm receipt that I take together. Once I put everything together, once I pieced it like a puzzle. And I take the palm receipt.
Okay, what is the date that this was pawned?
Okay, right here, it's April the 10th, 24,
And time?
4:48 p.m.
Right. And once again, what was the item that was pawned?
Right here is the Glock semi-automatic 40 cal pistol.
All right, and this was found in the vehicle, and there's a signature here. But I don't believe, can you make out anything on that signature?
I cannot.
Your Honor, the defense has objection is certain.
Would the court like me to get marked right
Okay,
there?
but Mark probably the ones he wants to object to, both to the record being reflected, and also some mark identification. Mr. However, does he know you object to? All right, let's have a call report, mark those for identification. And, passenger side of the vehicle. And I was asking the state, Mr. Duck, I don't know why you said it, I was asking the state why is this relevant?
Your Honor, if you look at photograph 83, it's the initial photograph that the crime scene investigator took as she opened the door. So it's showing the side and the location going in through the passenger side. It shows the front car seat, and then it's the overview photo, because our next photos start zooming in closer and tighter as to what's in that car seat under that stool, and then as she's recovering those items that could be a possible interest.
Let me see, 84,
It's the same objection there.
okay, 85. So assuming these are all on a series.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, there's an additional item, C, is objectionable as well.
What is the item for breakfast?
It is a small knife.
Okay. 45, really,
It's just a close up of that knife.
okay.
And then 87 is the C that shows the same items.
All right, so the passenger side, I'm trying to understand what is the relevance of these items that were covered as to the offense and the identity and commission of the crime.
Your Honor, the first thing, he did not include the last photograph, which was the final, which was on that seat, which are the keys that had Carlos's name.
Okay.
So it's the victim's keys that were in that seat under all those items. So it showed the placement of where the keys were that were in there. Plus, it also shows all of the items that he did bring with him in that vehicle to the house that night.
Well, I haven't heard any testimony about that. How did the council state come to the conclusion that all these items were in the car that night?
Because in his statement and interview to the police is that he never left sight of that vehicle, stayed in that vehicle the whole time, and that all of these items were in that vehicle when he left and when he was pulled over. So these would be all the items that were in the vehicle, according to his own interview statement, that he had with him that night. Because not only was it the change of clothes that they went into at length, about how he had a separate set of clothes, and we'll find in other photos the clothes that changed out of, but it goes into everything that he had with him that night that he carried in that car.
What about this second knife, this knife that was on the front passenger seat? How is that relevant?
Your Honor, at this point, it would go to his motive or intent or his plan of why he showed up there that night. Because through his testimony, he said that this is the vehicle that he brought. He never took any items out, never went anywhere, didn't put any items in. So his motive or intent for showing up that evening was with a knife, with a gun. You'll later see binoculars. You'll later see the rope. So I think the jury can clearly see and infer from these items what his intent was when he showed up there that evening.
And Your Honor, that's why the defense is objecting, because this is drawing inferences that are not supported by what Mr. Johnson told the investigators, not supported by what the evidence we heard from the actual scene of the shooting, have nothing to do with it. And also, it's not his fault.
So was there any proof presented that he actually took this knife out of the vehicle that night?
No, Your Honor, it was not, but it can be inferred through the evidence that this may have been part of his plan to destroy evidence or to get rid of things.
I'm speaking, I'm actually drawing your attention to exhibit number 86. Now, I can understand exhibit number 83 is the content it is as it is. It's shown that the vehicle was still just where everything was. And in 83, there's this big chair, stool or whatever, on the seat. Then in 84, it shows this rope that was in the vehicle was there. And then in 85, it shows everything that was laying on the car seat, as well as an empty crushed bottle, some keys, a knife, all those items. Now, and then 87 is a close-up of the items that were on the front seat, but I don't see the knife in the photograph 87. I do see a Walgreens bottle and the keys, but I don't actually, the knife for some reason is actually removed. But now 86 is a close-up of the knife, and I don't recall, or maybe I may have missed it, any testimony or anything that he said in reference to this knife that includes statement.
Your Honor, to be perfectly candid to the court, my assumption was the defense would want that picture because it's a close-up and it doesn't show any substance or blood on it. But if they want to object to the close-up of the knife, I'll remove it. I do not need it. I just wanted it to clearly show what all was on that seat as the investigators were moving the item from the seat so that they see the placement, the overview, and what he brought to that scene.
Well, I can tell you that as to exhibit number 86, because it kind of emphasizes that object,
Be glad to
they
remove it,
place
Your Honor.
something in the minds of the jury, which there's no testimony to connect it. And I am going to say that is more prejudicial and appropriate for the state's introduce that when they have nothing else to show other than was in there. He didn't actually own the vehicle. It didn't belong to someone else. He may have been using it, and therefore those things were in the car. But to try to go any further than that, I don't, there's nothing to identify his ownership of it, other than he was in the vehicle.
I understand the court's ruling and I will withdraw that vote.
87, 85, 84, and 83 do show the contents of the vehicle as they were. The court does understand the sequence of photographs of 83, 84, and 85, and 87, just trying to close in on those keys. It's my understanding that those keys belong to the victim in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that's my understanding. And we have a close-up of those with the identifying features of Carlos's name, the close-up photo of that he did not get.
Mr. Coker,
Your Honor, just one point of correction from Mr. Johnson's interview. He said that keychain that says Carlos was from Carlos. Those are not Carlos's keys, those are the keys to the vehicle that did not belong.
well, that's, all the state can do is introduce what they have. If there's further detailed information, that would have to come through your case. I can only just, they only have what they have. But I understand your question. Let's go ahead. So there's a subsequent photograph of the keys that could be included in these. Is that what you're telling me?
There was a photograph before those you got, and one photograph after those you received, Your Honor. He did not get that.
Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and have her to, how many photographs?
It was 10 original, but if I remove one, we've got 9 left.
All right, so these that have been marked by the application, go ahead and have, let's go ahead and for time's sake, while we have time, let me have the court reporter go ahead and number those. There's no objection to the other photographs?
No, back to the other part.
Go ahead and go ahead and mark those.
For number's sake, would you prefer 86 staying there to just be his objection in its own?
It comes out because it's only for identification for record purposes. So the ones that are being admitted, which would be,
83.
83 through whatever number, they can go ahead and mark for admission, and I will ask the question in the presence of the jury, we're not stopping on.
So just to clarify, 83, 84, 85, and 87 admitted, and 86 is for ID only.
Yes. Judge, your key points, are all of them?
No, that's just the numbers I have. I'm gonna have to go.
All right. You stopped at 87, right?
Yes, like,
Okay, all right.
Jordan mentioned at least.
Yeah, those would be 88,
Okay.
89.
Yes, ma'am. The last number is 92.
Mr. Guthrie, when the jury comes in, we will begin with looking for the record, the exhibits that are being admitted. You may restate your objection, you may restate the 86. The objection is to item number 86 is sustained, will not be admitted, and all the other exhibits will be. All right, with that in mind, we do have about 15 minutes left for recess, and we'll take it at this time.
All rise.
All right.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you all may be seated.
You're gonna have folks witness. Investigator Matory, I'm handing you 9 photographs. Have you seen those photographs before?
Yes,
Did you take those photographs?
I did.
And do those photographs, have they been changed in any way?
No,
Do they represent what you saw the day that you photographed that car?
yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to have these 9 photographs submitted into evidence.
What's this, defense?
Just in that, just to make the record,
All right, exhibits number, and I'm assuming it's 83, 84, 85, 87, 88, 89, 90,
And 91
and 91.
and 90.
It's more than 9.
I'll tell you, give me 1 second. There's an 83, an 84, an 85, an 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, and 92.
Those will be admitted. Item number 86 will not.
Yes, Your Honor.
what's the done, just to make sure.
Thank you.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm putting on the overhead that's been marked as 88. Tell us what we're looking at there.
This is the driver's side, step side of the vehicle, and it's a black substance that I collected.
Okay. And tell us a little bit, just in general, why do you do that?
Well, in general, when blood has been stayed for so long, it actually turns black. So I wasn't sure whether or not it was blood or not, so I collected it.
Okay. So out of an abundance of caution, you recover and photograph many things.
Yes,
And this is just one of the items that you did photograph and recover.
yes,
You have no idea if it has any relevance to this case.
no.
And then 89, what are we looking at there?
In the center console is US currency.
All right, is that it up front of the car?
Yes,
So the center console beside the driver?
yes, between the driver and the passenger seat.
All right, and number 90, what is that?
That's the US currency that I recovered from that area.
And if you would tell us the denominations, how many?
Yeah, the $100 bill here, a $50 bill, and the rest are 20s.
And is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 20s?
Yes, 20s.
So does that make $250?
That's correct.
And in exhibit 91, what are we looking at there?
That is a mail. Yeah, that's a mail.
And who is that addressed to?
Marcus Johnson.
What's that address?
It's at Green Barrel Apartments, 225 West McDowell Road.
So it says Marcus Johnson, Greenbrier Apartments, 225 West of that.
Yes,
In exhibit 83, can you tell us what we're looking at there?
yes. So this is on the passenger side of the vehicle. This is a stool. It's a metal stool, a rusted metal stool. This is a rope or a cord, very sturdy cord, brand new. Haven't been used.
Okay, and what's in the seat?
And the seat is going to be the keys.
Okay, and you can't see all that in this picture, but we'll go to 84. Is that a closer up without some obstructions, trying to see what's in the seat?
Yes. Right in here, this area.
Okay, and then we go to 85, and does that zoom in further on that same seat as well?
Yes, it is.
And then we go to 87, and is that just finally a closer up of the items and where they're located?
Yes, in the same passenger seat, and the keys.
Okay, and what is that other bottle in that photograph?
It's a medicine bottle, with Walgreens. I'm not sure of the substance.
You want to have first witness? Investigator McCoy, handing you a plastic bag. Are you familiar with that bag or card that's on it?
Yes,
And does that have your name,
yes, it
your
is.
signature as well?
Yes,
And is that sealed?
yes, it is.
And was that recovered from the vehicle?
Yes, the passenger's front seat.
And what are the reported contents of that bag that we're looking at?
It's a unknown liquid.
Okay. And does that match the medicine bottle that we see in the photo on the overhead?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to have that medicine bottle admitted into evidence.
Any objection? Maybe some more minutes.
Investigator DeBoer, placed on the overhead, which has been marked 93. And is that the bottle that you just looked at in the picture that was on the front passenger seat?
Yes.
And then when we flip it over, are you able to make out whose name that prescription is to? Can you read that first line at the very top?
Contain, Tate.
Keontae Tate.
Yeah.
Nowhere on this bottle do you see the name Marcus Johnson.
No.
And Exhibit 92, what are we looking at there?
Look, the key fob here, look, a Dodge key fob with Carlos' name, look like house keys.
All right, Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Okay.
92, Your Honor. Let's get in the court. I'm handing you a plastic bag. Inside of that bag, first of all, the card on the outside of that bag, is it your name?
Yes,
Is that your signature?
yes,
Is that this case number?
yes.
And has that bag been opened or tampered with in any way?
No,
And the reported contents of that bag, what is it?
the key fob, like a Dodge key fob and house keys with Carlos' name.
Okay. And is that what you recovered that day from the car?
Yes.
Your Honor, this time the state moved ahead, the keys admitted into evidence.
Any objection? No objection. Maybe some more minutes.
Let's get in the board. Put on the overhead, it's been marked 94. And in the evidence description, what does it say? What did you write there?
Right here, large key fob and keys.
Turn that over. In the book there. And whose name is on these keys?
Carlos,
And you said what make car were these keys for?
Dodge,
And what kind of car were you processing?
Honda Accord.
A Honda?
Yes.
You know, the defense would object to certain of these photographs.
Please note the court reported to mark those for identification purposes only, so that I can, so that the record can reflect which ones are being paid.
starting at 95 through 102 and, 96 is already marked.
Thank you. So wait, I have two.
Yes, ma'am.
As well. Okay. Ms. Duffy, you may proceed.
Investigator Latour, placement on the overhead was been previously marked as 95. And can you tell us, first of all, what location of the vehicle is this?
Right here, we're focusing on the, rear passenger side, floorboard of the vehicle.
You just say when you the photograph back and forth. All right, I apologize. What part of the car was it?
The rear passenger's floorboard,
All right, so to the left in the photograph, is that the rear seat?
yes, right here, this is the rear seat,
And then the white items and such, that's the floorboard?
that's correct.
Okay. And in 97, is that also another general picture of that same place in the car?
Yes,
All right. Now, place on overhead has been marked 98. What is that we're looking at?
this is the rear passenger floorboard, so, I put, this is a white shirt with, multi-colors.
And was it previously in picture 95 on the floorboard?
That's correct, right here.
Okay, all right. So photograph 99, you'll tell us what that is?
Yes, it's the same shirt. When I pulled it up, it's bloody, dried blood on this white shirt that was on the rear passenger's floorboard of the Honda Accord.
And in picture 100,
I showed a better view of the shirt and the markings on the shirt.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Investigator McCoy, I'm handing you a brown paper bag. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
And does it have your signature and name on that card?
Yes, it does.
Is that bag sealed and taped?
Yes,
And what are the purported contents of that bag?
that is the bloody white shirt here that I recovered from the rear passenger floorboard of the black Honda Accord.
So in the bag is the actual white shirt that you recovered from the Honda Accord?
Yes, the bloody t-shirt.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to have this t-shirt admitted into evidence.
Any objection? No objection, Your Honor. Maybe so marked or admitted.
And where was this white bloody t-shirt located again?
On the rear passenger's floorboard of the black Honda Accord.
Then in photograph 101, what are we looking at there? Is that also the rear of the Honda Accord?
Yes, this is the rear floorboard also. There's a lot of things.
Okay, and so this is the overview photo of that,
Yes,
and then picture 102, what is that we're looking at?
that is a pair of binoculars.
That's what I
Investigating Tory, did you do anything further with this vehicle?
Other than collect the items, no.
Okay. And what did you do with these items after they were collected, after they were photographed and collected? What did you do with them?
Well, I made sure that the, bloody t-shirt, with the boo-hoo on there, make sure it was dry.
Okay, and then what do you do after it's dry?
I package it and, for evidence person, to preserve the evidence,
And where does that evidence then go?
to our evidence. It goes to our evidence,
To evidence
locker.
storage or locker?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, continue the witness at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a few questions. I'll make this as brief as I can. We saw the pictures where you testified about the vehicle being sealed, taken from the doors.
Yes,
Do you know which agency placed those seals?
it was the sheriff department from, Louisiana.
Was there a signature or anything on it? Can you identify the officer who placed it on there?
I wasn't there.
Okay, fair enough. Do you know the date and time that the seals were placed on the vehicle?
Yeah, again, I wasn't there.
And you didn't receive anything in writing from that agency to indicate what date and time those seals were placed?
No,
Did you recall?
No.
So, other than processing the vehicle and documenting what you find, you don't have any knowledge of the circumstances of how anything got in the vehicle, do you?
what do you mean?
How these items came to be inside this vehicle or who they might have belonged to, you don't have any personal knowledge of that.
No.
And, we saw the keys that said, with the keychain that said Carlos on it. You recall that?
Yes,
And do you know if those keys were ever checked to see which vehicle or which residence they might have gone with?
sir, I have no idea.
Yeah, no, okay, all right, that's all the questions I have. Can you read it?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, they have ended afternoon hour. So it is now time for your midday break. As I indicated yesterday, we have an hour and a half. Do remember to call you have additional testimony. You are not at a point that you can begin any form of deliberation. I will see you all back at 1:30. All right.
Jury back over.
You don't need to see it. All right, court will be in recess until 1:30. In the meantime, if you are asking the courtroom, please do so quietly. We do need to take up, place a couple of matters on the record, some objections that, our court reporter was not able to pick up with you and check up the secrets. All right, first there was a sidebar in regard to the testimony of the superintendent. The defense objected to the logo in regard to the stolen vehicle, based on the initial first response from investigator Henson, and stated that they had, that evidence of whether or not the vehicle was stolen was prejudicial. The court noted at that time there had not been sufficient testimony submitted to establish, the basis for this witness's testimony, as the state had not at that point established the identity of the suspect, nor, his location or why the vehicle was relevant at that time. Although the state had introduced, the statement after the defendant was apprehended, it had not set out the predicates in regard to how it was determined that he was the person in the video, or that where he was, or what he was driving. So the court, based on that, did sustain the objection from the defense in regard to the testimony of Trooper Henson at that time, as if sufficient evidence had not been presented for his testimony out of order. The next objection from the defense was in regard to exhibits number 74 and 75, objecting to the contents of those photographic exhibits. There was a concern in regard to the rope that was found in the passenger side of the vehicle. The court overruled the objection, as the defense indicated. The photograph was an overview photograph, and the intent of the photograph is actually to show the placement of items before close-ups of other items in the series would be displayed. The court further noted that although the defendant was not the owner of the vehicle, you cannot attribute any items to him necessarily just because they were in the vehicle. And the state indicated that they had no intent of trying to emphasize anything in regard to the rope that was found on the passenger side floorboard or depicted in that photograph. The next objections were taken on the record in regard to the photo exhibits 83 and 87. Then there was an objection to items 95 and 96. And there was also the objection to the knife that was collected, which was exhibit number 74. What was it? 86 was the knife. Okay, exhibit number 86. 86. On the passenger side seat, there was a small knife on the seat, and exhibit number 86 was a close-up of that knife. The defense objected to, saying that it was prejudicial. The state argued that it was being used to show motive or intent or preparation. The court sustained the defense objection to that because at this time there was not insufficient evidence as to the defendant's state of mind, and that there was no proof that it was even used at the time of the offense. It was just on the car, in the car that did not belong to him, and the court deemed that it was more prejudicial than appropriate to allow a single photograph of the knife to be admitted to the jury based on the evidence presented at this time. So the court sustained the defense objection as to photograph exhibit number 86. Then there was exhibit number 96, which is marked by identification, which is a close-up of the binoculars. Is that what they were? That were found on the back seat underneath the bloody t-shirt. The state wanted to introduce into evidence a close-up of those for the purpose of showing that purpose and planning prior to the incident, and that he might have been stalking the victim. The defense objected to them for that reason, saying that it was more prejudicial than probative, and the court sustained the objection as to exhibit number 96, and that at this time there has been insufficient proof in regard to the issue of stalking. It does not show, a relationship or anything else, there's no proof or anything presented at this time to show that, ownership of them, ownership of the monogamous item, they could have belonged to the owner of the vehicle. And with those things in mind, the court, did, sustain the objection to those. Then there's exhibit 102, that again, I guess it was me and the oversight of part of the defense, the court on its own, asked the state to, not proceed with any further questioning into that exhibit because it was similar to 96. And so therefore, the defense, agreed with the court to ask the court to reconsider whether or not that would be admitted, and the court, in consistency with the ruling as exhibit number 96, will deem that exhibit number 102 should be removed as an exhibit at this time, subject to reconsideration in the event the defense testifies and the court and the state is able to at that time move to amend those. So 102 will be removed from admitted, but will be marked for identification purposes only. Is there anything supplemental the defense would like to add to any of the court's recitation as to the bench conference?
Fair summary, Your Honor.
Anything by the state?
No, Your Honor.
The court was doing so just to try to reserve any errors for appeal. All right, if there's nothing further, the court will be in recess until 1:30.
All right.